This is Zacchaeus. Good morning. I gotta talk about two issues. Well, I'm gonna stick to one. Do another video on this one. To the advice show, I sometimes agree with your views and sometimes I don't. Yes, the man who's the advice show, and I know you're gonna say, "Oh, I don't like you," and whatever, man. I don't care. And I'm not a collective person. We have different issues about race. Okay, racial identity as well. So I'm not with the one drop rule. I'm not with the blacker than thou. I feel if you're part African American descent, you're mixed. No matter how background, how much it is, no matter what you look like. And yes, I'm not with that trying to be more darker than all that. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Because yeah, I consider myself a camera skin person. So when you visit about the mom that was which I do agree on the moral aspect, that mother, she was on Facebook calling her child the N word and calling her, calling her child a nigga, and I'm just gonna be real because I know this is not Facebook, this is YouTube, so I'm gonna be real, okay? She was calling her and she had weave in her head, looking crazy. Nothing wrong with weave, but when they go too much of it, and then she was a little lighter. And she wasn't fair skinned. To me, I think we probably about the same age. 'Cause I'm almost 35. I grew up in the 80s. Now in Port Arthur. Grew up in Houston and a suburb next to Houston as well. So I'm not all that with that. Okay, if you're not pale, then you're dark. I know. I'm with that. If you're not dark and brown, dark brown, like with some night to jet black, and then yeah, right. So you can get mad about me because I really don't care. I'm my own person and I'm my own individual, and I'm not with that. You can call me Uncle Tom. I don't care. At least this so-called, because I'm not Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom actually. The stereotype goes along whatever that was used to detriment us, whatever, and stuff like that people want us to do, because the whole idea of the black nationalist surrogate move was to keep us down away from civil rights, not fight for civil rights, and not be part of the integrated society. Remember, our African ancestors didn't have to come here, and they only mixed in with different races, whether through force or through choice, through white ancestry, and also Native American ancestry by choice, whatever. The point is, we're American by birth, and also part of our heritage. The majority of us, I don't care about those hoax DNA tests. They don't always go back a certain generation, so I don't cover all ancestors. I read one clip of these YouTube videos that 19 we are the races that ancestors. We haven't seen it lie about it. I mean, maybe somebody did, but they ain't gonna lie. I'm not with that, so go ahead and get mad at me. But I have to disagree with you about there's something about the bad 13 line, the parents, the bad 13 on Facebook, instead of comes in. But I had to disagree about the racial part. You said that black parents raise their kids different than white parents. I went to predominantly white school before it became predominantly Latino. Okay, the area I was from outside of Houston was predominantly it was mostly white at the time, but it was the community I grew up was mostly African American descent. I mean, all of us had African, but we all had different shades, complexions. We weren't always brown or dark. We had folks who were pale, from my color to those who look like a white person. And we have folks who look like dark skin, darker than me too, Western night, whatever. So, and I mixed with Creole. We had a lot of Creoles of all different colors. So, we grew, I mean, it was, when I saw somebody, we assume they were white. I don't know, that, the one drop out here, they black, they're not white, whatever, because they one drop rule mess. But where I did not grew up, and even from Port Arthur, that's close by Louisiana, the United maybe Chris, a lot of Creoles are dark, light, brown, whatever mixture down there, fair, bright, dark, whatever, hair, kinky hair, straight, whatever down there too. But point is, I have to get this idea about quote black parents raise their kids different than white parents. Okay, I don't know, up north, I always had a dream, just like our ancestors a long time ago before the civil rights movement, to get out of the South. Trust me, I want to move in New York City, NYC. Get out of here, H-Town. I'm not like to live. I like some things, but Southern culture. But when the mentality is still the same, I can't deal with it. I'm not all that conservative on a cultural basis. I'm talking about the things that people think of old fashioned. Okay, but I'm more liberal and I'm more the individualistic person. I'm an individualist not a collectivism. So you can say, well, black people, I'm talking to you, whatever. You're not talking to me, brother. You may talk to the ones who want to listen to you. But I had to listen to this stupid comment about black parents beat their kids and whites. That's a doggone lie. First of all, yes, I do disagree with the beating thing, and I do think that people distort the scripture in the Proverbs, because even Saint Peter talks about people distort the scripture. And I see that, me personally, when I got whooped, and spanked, whatever, I did want to get revenge. I'm bipolar to this day. Not only that, from the bullying in school, and folks want me to confront and be this other person that I'm not. I'm my own person, and they gotta accept me or leave me alone. Second of all, I was around a lot of white people who got beat, whooped, and worse. Okay, actually make this statement, and just in a city, not too far where I'm, from, whatever. But just I was taking a swimming class, and a white parents, and I'm not trying to be racist to anybody, and I'm mixed with Caucasian, but don't look at it, but just still, they were like trailer, what ghetto. They were like, they like the woman hair was straight, but it was frizzy. Like from the parents smell, and one of the children, I felt so bad. He about, how old was he? Because my cousin was 4, 93, 95, so he's around my cousin's age, and the boy kept crying. Actually, the swim teacher that we had, young man, was the same name as the little boy, but the dad was this big old white guy, and he had a belt. And it was so funny. So my family members who probably so much criticizing the, not publicly, but behind closed doors, I'm like, y'all treat me the same way. What the heck? But anyway, the little boy kept crying, and the dad said, do what I said. It's a white parent. Do as I said. Do as I said. I'm like, dang. I mean, if I had access to this stuff, I'd go CPS. But anyway, and I think he was cussing too at the time. And this is at the Jacinto City pool area near, Houston. Next thing, the last day, I think I had 1 week or 2 weeks of similar lessons. And, because they had the little kids first, this one for my cousin. Then they had, the ones who was 13 and, a teenage. Now I was 13 going on 14 that year. And it was in 93, so it was 21 years ago. And I remember that big old white dude came out and got the little boy. Pop, pop. I'm like, dang. So y'all ain't stop. I mean, one thing is African American descendant people who was raised only with those with the same background, who never been exposed outside. I mean, when people talk about spanking, they're not talking about only those African American descendant. Meaning we still got that savage imagery about ourselves. When we see, savage acts, the beastie, as Thomas Mayo would say, was saying with the male beastie, the female beastie. We're so used to thinking that's normal because slavery has taught us, and we was getting whooped by slave masters. I wasn't, but our ancestors, now they were light skinned, brown, with a dark camel, whatever, fair skin, dark brown, whatever, black as tar, whatever, fair white person. They had that one drop, and they was a slave on a plantation where the field or the inside, they got whooped. Okay, so they had that mentality thinking that that's poor. But remember, all of my videos I mentioned, and I'm also mixed with English besides French, and I know this from American history as well. And I went to predominantly white school before it became predominantly Hispanic. They talked about the Pilgrims' heritage. Remember, this country is a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant conservative culture. That's why a lot of things shock us. Of course, sexual immorality shocks us. But even things that's in the gray area that had to do with having same-sex sex or having fornication sex, or those, if something that's taboo, we automatic, in other countries and other people like, what, that's been going on for years. Not country, what the heck, where y'all been? America's always the stupidest country because of the pilgrim minded, the Anglo-Saxon old-fashioned Protestant mindset of where it is. So that's where folks, because not all of us, I'm not a Protestant, but I used to be, but even those who are not Protestant, who are in that mind frame, we're in that culture mindset. Remember, people absorb, they assimilate to that culture. Even the white immigrants who came into the United States assimilate to white Anglo-Saxon Protestant culture. Some of them was not Protestant, some was Jews, some was Catholic, some was Orthodox. They still say much was the same. They tried to mimic some of that keep some of their roots, but remember some things. But same thing in African American. You have those who are Catholic, you have those who are not Protestant. Later on, you had some of those who were Muslims, whatever. They still try to assimilate some of the Protestant, the old-fashioned Protestant American society elements. So that's why folks in African American who, especially the older generation, they might vote liberal on certain things or be liberal, but they still be conservative, especially when it comes to discipline child. And they, especially from the South, that they've been, because the South, up north it's more liberal. Okay, the South is very conservative. Remember Texas, we have a Republican governor. Many when Obama tried to pass laws to help, I understand I'm not for abortion, but something that's not having to do with abortion. Let's say about the food stamps and stuff and all other stuff. When Obama trying to pass that stuff down, or when Clinton was trying, all that, it got messed up because Republicans come in and stuff. I'm suffering for myself. I'm trying to look for a job, and I'm still, some agencies help me out, with the everything. But before that, I almost committed, God forgive me, but I almost had enough, thank God I got again, thank the Lord Jesus, because I got away from that. But when they stopped giving unemployed benefits, dang, because the Republicans came in and killed the decision. So, brother, you gotta understand, do some history on the whole aspect of American society. Understand that folks, being African American, whether they're not of their religion or not, they're absorbed into a white. That's why we have this colorism, not because we're mixed, that too, because we're not pure black. Okay, I don't care what white people say, white race people who are for one drop rule or that mentality. We're not pure African American. If they didn't want us to be pure, the white man just kept his pants on, let the slaves in Africa. I don't care how many Africans were slaving each other still, but folks were greedy back then. It was about power and even twisting scripture here in the United States to make the slaves, not rebel against their authority. So that's where a lot of stuff is coming from. And then when they thought they was godly, but they wasn't. They were beating the crap. They, pretty much, they think they was guided by God, but remember God gave us our free will. So they thought that they will have this guidance, but they were actually being beaten. So when the Pilgrims came here, they did the same thing with the natives, whatever. They did their children. When the children was very severely whooped, the Pilgrim kids, white, English kids. Many folks who came in this country who didn't practice that in other parts of Europe absorbed that. It was similar. It was normal. So if you grew up in let's say you're a white 100% white man, because I know you got some white, you dark skin, you got some white down in your family, but say you pure, look white. If you grew up in a white area back in the days, 1800s, whatever, before that, using the Pilgrim type, the Puritan or even descendants from them, they would whip the crap out of you. Really. So funny that folks don't understand the reason why we have summer vacation, because they used to force the children to work and the children protest to go to school instead of working. So, y'all gotta know history stuff. Some things they do teach in school is false, but that part, white history always try to be true to what their history compared to Hispanic, African American, mixed, Asian and American history. So, but I went to, as Laura Ingalls Wilder, whatever her name was, from Little House of Prairie books. Trust me, I hated reading those books. And every doggone year, 3rd grade, 4th grade, I think, no, that's 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, I always failed. But I maintained to pass those classes. But, folks, I used to be scared of my white teacher. It was an old white lady. She was 4th grade, and I wasn't doing well at school. I know I had a psychological problem. I was emotionally disturbed with the child. And I was daydreaming a lot. And she threatened me times, I'm going to get the board of education, whoop you. And his white teacher, the majority of the white kids, you talk to them today, yeah. I was debating with this white dude in middle school, and he was for parenting. He was for whooping, okay? That's a stereotype. Stop making us look like savages. Y'all want savage Aunt Mamas and Mandingo Negro days. I'm getting very tired of how you. It's because I may be assertive about birth, but not by too much of the soul. But point is, the South has always tried to act like it was a whole and it wasn't all that. The South always, most of the racism in America was in the South. Back in the day. There was racism up north. Remember the Birth of the Nation film made white folks up north feel that the Mammies and Sambos and Trader Mulattoes and stuff was going to happen up north, and that's why the Chicago, they had the riots and all that. And even when Josephine Baker, I mean, I can go down history, but the point is, I wish you stop making ignorance about this. Oprah Winfrey is a sister, and she's Asian and Black Indian as well. Then they text, but she's an African American woman as well, and she don't believe in it. I don't believe. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. There's a lot of folks who don't practice that. There's a woman named Paula Flo. She's the hitting stop here. She's a sister, brown skinned sister. Okay, she's fighting against the whooping and spanking and everything. She's also going against CPS. CPS is not always for against parent whooping. I used to work for CPS, and also was a case that happened against me with somebody. I think I mentioned it in one of my comments, and I did call the police on one older family members, and they took their side. I mean, come on, and that's why I tell people, Harris County CPS is not. I mean, it may did some others, but ever since that woman, the white woman who killed all her kids and thought she was doing God's will over there by Clear Lake, dear by NASA, her husband worked for NASA. Remember Andrew Yates? Okay, y'all gotta understand that CPS gave those kids back to her. Okay, that's they thought she was on her medication when she was not always on her medication. The husband left to go to work. Next, the kids were driving in the bathtub, and she didn't all them kids. Anyway, the point is, this country, y'all gotta stop being so ignorant about saying that black kids whoop their kids, parents get whooped, black parents whoop their kids different than black parents. You might have say some liberals and maybe some black try to say liberal but say conservative ones, but not every person of African American blood do that to their children. And I've seen people who would take my side. I wish I was with them 24/7. In this South, it's hard to debate with that, and I wish you stop making stupid ignorance. It's folks who believe that. The reason why the Southern blacks or those who just coming from who live up north, remember our folks in that state was from Hammer Tubman days, but they didn't come after when Hammer Tubman times, and it was after slavery, and it was during Jim Crow. They came up from the South, okay? Their family came from the South, and then even up north, they practiced the whooping and stuff. It was just that later on, a lot of liberal, stuff coming in. But here in the South, they still try to maintain cultural conservative on a conservative process level, should I say? And I'm not for that. So that's the reason why we have that mentality. That's why that our family practice, even if they didn't believe in it, it was assimilated into. So you gotta understand, TheAdviseShow, whatever your doggone name is, that's a lot of ignorance that you just made that video. And even Dr. Jeffrey Gardere, who's a doctor in New York or some upstate, he's been on Saturday Raphael, he been on Oprah Winfrey, he been on Montel Williams, he been on, because I watched talk shows all through my life until they started getting bored in the 2000s. But through the 90s, it was very political at the time. It wasn't about sex, who sleep with who all the time. They had political topics that affected interracial relationships, racism. I watched a lot about that, multiracial identity, race. Also, parenting, like spanking, whooping, how to parent your kids. What else? They talked about smoking in public places, transracial adoption, homosexuality, gay, this and that. They talked about a lot of the gender issues, who have been discriminated because of the way you look, punk rockers, all those social issues. More, I get tired. I look at some of the baby mama drama, who's even who, but it gets tired. Child molestation, whatever, religion, why they can't wear this, why a man can't wear hair long. Those are important issues because I'm not faced with who sleep with who all day. It's funny, and I see how stupid that people will actually sleep with this person, sleep with this person. It's kind of stupid. That's why I have to live a chaste life, thank the Lord. But other than that, I like to hear more social issues. Like, that's why I prefer sometimes look at Trisha on, or Trisha, or either is it Trisha, who else? Steve Wickle, then Steve Wickle, then Jerry Springer, because those are important issues that we have to face. I'm getting tired of who daddy hit mama die. I mean, come on. I mean, it's stupid. A woman or a man sleep around, and especially, I'm sorry to be sexist, but a woman too, because she's the one to end up carrying a child. I don't condone the male gigolo either, but if you know the man's a gigolo, don't sleep with him. You know, for women, because women, if you know that the man's a hoe, don't sleep with him. Just like a man, and you know the woman's a hoe. So I'm being on both genders, okay? That's why I live a chaste life. I don't worry about sleeping around. Whew, no diseases. Don't worry about that. Thank God. But point is, if you know the man's whorish, leave him alone. Leave the man the hell alone. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, y'all. So, I mean, I understand that the parents was trying to teach, and I do agree with that. It's much better to bear the kids, especially not at little, but when they're teenagers, because they're on with adulthood. Remember, they had to live with that when they're adults. So, but point is, but beating the crap and cussing and all the child out. I have some friends who do that. I know by Texas law that's legal, as long as don't leave bruises on them, or webs, whatever, or rashes, whatever. But other than that, I don't know, because I went to similar to that, and trust me, I went to nearly go to kill with doing it. Okay, and I don't want my family, I want my child to do it to me. Okay, so and I would argue my child. Excuse me, if I don't disrespect you, don't disrespect me. Okay. I give you certain things, but you gotta do so. That's something I do, and I don't have to wait. Just one thing I know that some people wait till a child acts up and then they start doing it. No, I'm sorry. Soon as in the womb, soon as they in the crib, I'm gonna let them know right then and there. I don't have to cuss them. I don't have to beat the crap out of them. They don't get used to repetition of what I'm saying to the point it becomes second nature. So. Anyway, that's what I gotta say, man. I get tired of hearing folks of Negro blood, no matter what color, and even Hispanics. Oh, white kids raising different. No. Y'all have to stop being. See, social segregation is very ignorant. You meet other white folks, they 9, 10. I hear this a lot in the South of here in Houston, Texas. That a lot of white folks do whoop their kids. A lot of them scared of CPS. A lot of scared of all this. I mean, one of my friends, before she left the apartment, she's a white mother. She has all her kids are mixed. 2 Hispanics, the rest of her part African American, and she did whoop her kids. She's from an old country town, you know what I'm saying? Old little white girl, from country town, old woman, should I say. And, up there, they in the little small towns, Texas, they do whoop their kids. You better not try to stop them from whooping their kids, they'll whoop you too, you know what I'm saying? So, we got that from white folks. Stop saying it's from Africa. I don't know, maybe it's parts of Africa, some tribe, but remember, all African did different things. That's why they fought against the slavery, because they didn't think themselves as a black race. Then say, oh, it's also different, which is actually true, because here your mind, not the color of your skin, your mind separates you from everybody else. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. That's why I say content carries the color of skin. So anyway, all I gotta say is, TheAdviseShow, I'm sorry, I had to, a lot of things you make logical, just like you and Tommy, but y'all do have some legal things about me too. I really don't care. But I want to put out there, and I saw your comments about the girl getting embarrassed by the 13, by her parents, 13-year-old foot on Facebook. Many of white comments was saying, "Excuse me, I'm white and I got whooped my ass out." I mean, when I was a child, I don't understand. Yeah, up north, which is a lot of liberal, folks, different races, but little whites still control their areas. But down south, a lot of southern whites control it. I mean, them are very conservative. Not too long ago, you saw, a couple years ago, Judge Adams, the white man in some Texas near Dallas, was beating the crap out of his daughter, who is now 25 now, because she was 16 at the time, for downloading the Japanese, games or something online. And the mother, they just cussing the hell out this woman. And I bet they go to church on Sunday too. So, I let you know I ain't perfect. So but I bet they act like, one of those folks who don't want to mention that they what's so funny, I get tired of meeting people like that. They want to correct your behavior, and they got the authority, but they don't want you to correct theirs. And they have the audacity to act like something they do is wrong, when if you do is wrong, but they can do it's okay. They think I forgot God don't show no partiality. I forgot that he didn't say that, didn't he? Oh well. And we all sinners. Anyway, point is, I have to mention that, and I'm getting very tired of the arrogance down here, and please stop saying that black kids will get different from whites, because when I was in school, all the black, because we are not pure white, black, whatever, but those who categorize as black, no class white, no class Hispanic, because there was not hardly no Asian in that school. Maybe a mixed race Asian, but it was class one of the opposite. They was whooped from their kids at home, and they were whooped in school. In our school, the school district in the east part of Harris County, to this day, was controlled by white folks. They initiated paddling. When I first got paddled and last, back in 6th grade, by the coach I cannot stand to this day, in the white band who's the principal, the black coach, the white principal, and they said, and when I never forget, when before that, I almost got a paddle. What it was, to make short, a teacher who's from Yankee, but she's very conservative, read teacher. What happened was she got on Hispanic students, and he laughed. I mean, I laughed out loud, and I mean, now probably I have a natural voice, and she got both of us out of the class. Then she got one of the white students. So one of the Hispanic students was trying to fight me, and I didn't want to get in for trouble, and he also making racial epithets. Well, so the white kid was just laughing at, and I walked away to get away from him, run away to get away from him, and she assumed as an asshole. Sorry to say this about her if she sees this video. Hey, if you get hurt, the truth came out. She assumed that I was playing with these dudes, and I was not. I was trying to get away from someone when I get further in trouble. Remember, I was a good kid in school. Well, try hard to be at the time. I was not trying to get in trouble. And next thing, my dad had a weird way of answering the phone because he lived away from my grandparents. And next thing they're trying to call, I ain't you gonna whoop me because excuse me, I want to try to do the wrong, and I was falsely accused. I told the same principal, white sister principal, and it was two cops. They were white and one Hispanic, and one of the white guys, take it like a man, take it like a man. I got whooped. Okay, stop saying that white kids don't get whooped when exactly that's a lie. The last school I went to in the what I was singing, if you ever see the videos of me singing, the supervisor, who's the same age as my cousin, 25, I'm way older than this dude. He's from a little small town. He do believe in whooping the butt. Okay, he even say, whoop that ass, beat that ass. I mean, the cuss, that's what he says when they talk about whooping kids. And I'll never forget when I was trying to take a test that I had to make up, before I got dropped at the school. I overheard about some girl, one woman was smoking a cigarette, whatever, and she met her boyfriend, she called him eat whatever, and he would not give it to her. Oh, he said, the reason why she act like that, because she didn't get no ass whooping when she was young. You gotta whoop that ass. So he said, what do you say? What are you getting this idea that black kids get whooped at home and white when, and sadly, you're from the South, but I forgot, you social segregate yourself from other quote-unquote black folks who are not even pure black themselves because you want to be safe. Integration is education. Because I went to school and the Hispanic kids' parents, even those gangsters, they got whooped at home. Their parents, the white kids. I mean, it was certain people who didn't get whooped. I know a real dark-skinned chick, her parents did not whoop them, okay? And neither her cousin got whooped. Yeah, it's so funny, okay? And I live from, and so my question is, where is you getting this idea? And I'm getting tired of folks following stereotypes and thinking it's true. And because they see an example of a friend or a couple of fellas who act the same way, you don't speak for the whole race. Like I told you today, you don't speak for me, okay? So therefore, y'all know I don't speak for you. But when you try to talk to me, I'm going to come at you with a debate, okay? I'm sorry, because I have my own mindset. One thing my grandfather told me, my dad said, your mind separate from everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So stereotypes, when you social segregate yourself, you actually asking yourself to be ignorant. And I'm getting very tired of people making it look like a total fool. Oh, white kids don't get whoopers and black kids do. When in fact, that went to later on came on the Hispanic. Most of the white kids and those who even left the Hispanic town, and even those who control the white folks control that town, got they behind whooped and believed in it. And they tried to enforce it. And it was always a bait in school. I'm getting tired of these doctors saying that spanking is wrong, whooping is wrong, and I whoop my kids. The police officers whooped them. So where are you from, Port Arthur? But I forgot y'all social scared because them white folk down Port Arthur, they racist, huh? Man, I mean, they had to integrate your school to arch y'all to get education. Not only what they were trying to teach you in school, but social education. Because I don't understand where you get this. I did a good thing. I do mention my mixed background because I mixed with English besides French and Native American. French and English is white. Yes, I know the white history of learning in school. Remember the key truth for that. Those kids got whooped. Those Southerners who was forced segregation got whooped. You know what I'm saying? So actually, the master kids got spanked not as harsh as the slaves did, but they believed in it too, and they enforced it on their slaves. So where did they get the idea from, man? Hmm. What a white master, pure African, part African? Because remember, one drop rule was used to put something we would have been slave too. Where did they get the idea, brother? All right, man. I gotta go, man. I gotta get ready to go, and I'm making another video about the parent cut the ghetto folks parents whooping their child, 13-year-old, and that's sir. Oh, just like I ain't not one of them doggone parents of those people, because I would not take my grandfather to almost try to kill my dad or something like this. Anyway, I gotta go. Okay, and I'm getting very tired of you. I'm not trying to be offensive, but you Negroes, since you call, I don't mean Negroes, but the one that Bill Cosby, and what's that? Is it Alex Tucson? Alex Tucson, whatever his name is, the doctor. They don't believe in whooping, and I mean, it was on Oprah Winfrey show saying it. Okay, so what are you getting your ideas? And Jeffrey Gardner has a book called Better Parent for African American Children, Better Parent for African Americans. He was promoting on Wiki Lake Show back in the 90s or early 2000s. So what are you getting your ideas, man? This is stupid that you think that white black kids don't whoop, because not every, and I remember it was a light skinned lady. Well, she's a fine lady. And she was, my dad's age, because my dad was about to be 60 years old, and I'll never forget, she was on either American Journal, one of those shows, and Inside Edition, and her white suit boss had papped her, and she was going to get a lawsuit. She said, this is the same age as my parents. She said, I never was spanked as a child. She talked very elegant. She wasn't ghetto, you know what I'm saying? So we're telling that black parents, you can't speak for all. And my grandfather, who's passed away on my dad's side, he was a dark-skinned Creole. His grandfather, his dad told him, and they're from Louisiana, that his dad did not spank him at all. I said, no, where I got that idea from? Came down family tree. So, but I'm talking about not my grandfather. My grandfather got whooped. I'm talking about his dad told him that his father, my great grandfather, did not whoop us, yell at him at all. And so I don't understand, where do you get your idea from, bro? And I know that he would lie. Anyway, bye bye. Have a nice day.